Hey, yo, what's up, YouTube man? It's your boy, Ashton Jackson, and in today's video, I'm going to be talking about the Dallas Cowboys training camp that they had a joint practice again versus the Los Angeles Rams. I'm going to be talking about the Dallas Cowboys should not play around with the offensive two tackle position, and they should bring in a guy like David Bakhtiari, which I talked about in length in his own video that I made in July, and then I also had another video that I talked about my last video when I was talking about Cooper Beebe, and that was breaking news about him getting first-team center reps. Earl Bostic, our offensive tackle 3 that would have been on the depth chart, went down. He also went down as well, so I think the Dallas Cowboys should also look into bringing in another vet like Donovan Smith that, last year won a Super Bowl with the Kansas City Chiefs protecting Patrick Mahomes, and then prior to him joining the Chiefs, he was with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers for the longest, won a Super Bowl over there with Tampa. So bringing a savvy veteran like him, that's something the Dallas Cowboys should be looking forward to. And I'm talking about all that and more after the intro. So before we hop into the video, I appreciate if you guys like the video, subscribe if you're new, comment and share my video with anyone who you think will enjoy my content.
Yeah, they say shit about this and about that. They got shit to say about everything, but let's get to the fact. I see them trying to cut out all the real shit.
Cowboys' first team offensive line today was left tackle Tyler Guyton, guard Tyler Smith, other guard was Zach Martin, our center was Cooper Beebe, and our right tackle was Terrence Steele. From what I saw, what you guys are seeing right now on the training camp clips, Cooper Beebe, from what I saw, what was recorded and what I saw online was that there was only one bad snap from him. That was it. But then other than that, I really like what our offensive line was going to look like. And I figured after day 2, after that Friday had ended and we left with Maris Luafau, Cooper Beebe, and Marshawn Nealon, I knew what our starting offensive line was going to look week 1 versus the Cleveland Browns, no matter of politics of them trying to hype up Brock Hoffman or them trying to play with our emotions and trying to say that Chuma Edoga was going to play at left tackle. I had a deep down feeling that you don't trade down, you pick up another 3rd round pick. You don't trade down and drop the tackle in the 1st round just for him to sit if you don't feel confident. If you had a guy like, if we did this year where we traded back in the 1st round, picked up an extra 3rd round pick, and we dropped Tyler Guyton in the 1st round, but we still had Tyron Smith on the contract. We had him for like 1 more year, and we drafted Tyler Guyton just for him to be an understudy and basically just for him to have a red shirt rookie year, then that would make a lot more sense, right? But since we knew we had nobody on this offensive tackle spot that was better than Tyler Guyton, it was clear and evident that Tyler Guyton was going to play. Same with Cooper Beebe. I know that some people were trying to hype up Brock Hoffman. He's not a bad player. And when we're talking about Brock Hoffman, I like him a lot as your center 2 than him being your center 1. I think Cooper Beebe can, if all he needs to do really is get down his snaps, and he's better than what Biadasz or Hoffman can ever be as pros, in my opinion. Not Hoffman, but Beebe is more powerful. He can anchor down in pass protection. He isn't going to get overwhelmed or pushed back or driven back by any of the top tier defensive tackles that we're going to see this year. Name a top defensive tackle that's going to be on the Dallas Cowboys schedule that they're going to go up against. And I had extreme confidence that Cooper Beebe is going to be able to hold his own against those guys because he's already played against Byron Murphy, who's with the Seattle Seahawks. I know we don't play him this year. He played with the Alabama boys with Will Anderson. He played against Jalen Carter. He played against some of these top tier defensive tackles that played in college, and he's seen them. He's going to see them in the pros. Braden Fisk. So he's going to see a bunch of those guys. And I'm not overly too concerned. Also talking about offensive line, left tackle Tyler Guyton had a hell of a day versus Jared Verse, and that's what I was talking about yesterday, saying how Jared Verse needs to be put on his behind, that is what Tyler Guyton was doing all day today. I have numerous clips where you're seeing Tyler Guyton manhandling Jared Verse outside of 1 rep, and that 1 rep that he did lose, it was on a run play that was complete in the opposite direction. It was like a run play near Zach Martin and Terrence Steele. So yeah, I know he lost on that rep, or it looks like he lost on that rep, but if you're just protecting the backside, that's what you're supposed to do, and he held up Jared Verse long enough where the ball was already gone and the back is already sneaking on that right side of that ball anyway. So that was a win in my opinion. But again, Tyler Guyton is going to have to be ready, and I think Tyler Guyton is going to be a hell of an offensive lineman. Now, understanding, I know, was I the biggest fan of when we drafted Tyler Guyton the first night? No, I wasn't, but it made a lot of sense into why we drafted him. His athletic standpoint, quick with his feet, very he's 6'8", very lengthy. So, a lot of times length is going to save and bail out a lot of these offensive tackles, which sometimes it does, because, when you have short arms, you have less mistakes that you can possibly make. So with Tyler Guyton being 6'8" and him having like a 7'4" wingspan, that's going to be ridiculous when he's out there pass protecting for Dak Prescott. So I think Tyler Guyton is going to be just fine. And also, the reason why I wasn't as high as him as I wanted to be coming out of Oklahoma was because he wasn't working with Duke Manyweather in college like BB was, and how some of these other offensive linemen are doing. They're working with Duke Manyweather in college, and they're working with them in the pros. Tyler Guyton wasn't doing that, and I'm proud that Tyler Guyton had a mental makeup and he wasn't messing around. From the time between you get drafted and the 2 weeks from that you have, or that week and a half that you have until minicamp, you can do anything. That's when players get in trouble. That's when players do a lot of dumb things. That's when they get out of shape and things like that. Tyler Guyton took it upon himself to get out there in Texas, rent an Airbnb, work with Duke Manyweather to work on his game, and he did that. And then leading into minicamp, taking what he worked with Duke Manyweather onto the minicamp field, and then just building upon that in the offseason. I'm really glad at what Tyler Guyton is doing. So I already know he's going to be a hell of an offensive tackle. He just needs to put it together. Will he lose reps week one? Yes, he will. I don't know any offensive tackle that's going to come into the league year one and manhandle Myles Garrett or TJ Watt or some of these top edge defenders, Nick Bosa. I don't know too many offensive tackles that are going to be coming out this year that are going to manhandle a lot of pass rushers, and that includes Fuaga that got drafted to the Titans, Olu Fashanu that got drafted to the Jets. What's the other one? Fatu that got drafted to the Steelers. So there's a bunch of guys that are going to have struggle days versus some of these top tier edge rushers that they'll play. So I think our offensive line is going to be fine. The only thing, again, that I'm stressing about, that I'm talking about, that will bite us in the behind is defensive tackle depth. Like who's going to back up Osa Odigizua, since we're having Golston and we're having Nealon primarily play edge. Who's going to back up Osa Odigizua at 3 tech? Who's also going to back up nose tackle Mozzie Smith? We need to have these conversations. I've already come up with some names. I think people that can back up Mozzie Smith at a decent and adequate enough level, I think, can be Al Woods. I think Lawrence Guy and Linval Joseph. I think if you can sign 2 of the 3 names I just said, again, Lawrence Guy, Al Woods, Linval Joseph, primarily Linval and Al Woods in my opinion. Or I would go even with a guy like Lawrence Guy, who played majority of his career in New England, who played the nose tackle spot pretty decently well over there. I know he won't be in his quote-unquote prime over here, but having a veteran that can play that nose tackle position will be great. But again, Linval, because he's used to the system, and then signing a second guy that can play nose tackle at an adequate level will be great. I don't mind if we trade some capital to get a 3 technique. I'm fine with trading any day 3 picks. So 4th, 5th, 6th, or 7th, I'm fine with adding depth to our team. Again, Dallas Cowboys need to stop playing with the backup left tackle position. They need to bring in guys like David Bakhtiari, Donovan Smith. David Bakhtiari has been an all-pro offensive tackle, all-decade top offensive tackle, protecting Aaron Rodgers. He wants to prove out. He wants to come out and prove himself, right, that he can play in this league again. And I think if he can come in and realize that, right now in his career, if he can just come in, be a great locker room guy, be a great leader, or be a great mentor to some of these young offensive linemen, and possibly he gets traded around October. If a team calls us with a guy like Staley for the Baltimore Ravens, if he goes down with an injury, or somebody of a premier talent goes down and they want David Bakhtiari's services, we're just in luck, because we will sign him for cheap. And then a team like either the Ravens or the Chiefs or the Niners, if Trent Williams gets hurt and he misses a few weeks, or he's going to miss the majority of the season, and they're going to want to sign David Bakhtiari, we'll have him. They'll have to give us a 4th-round pick, a 5th-round pick, a 3rd-round pick if they want to scoop him up off our hands. And then again, I talked about this in yesterday's video, that even if a guy like David Bakhtiari isn't ready to play, or teams aren't begging to call for us because they haven't seen him play, then we can just easily keep David Bakhtiari, and having him as your 6th best offensive lineman will be great, right? Then also, I talked about signing Donovan Smith. He protected Tom Brady and Patrick Mahomes. Not saying that he's a great offensive tackle because he blindside protected those two quarterbacks, but he was decent enough for both of those franchises to be around for a very long time. He's a very good veteran to have, and I think he'll be solid in case Tyler Guyton gets hurt or if he misses a game, or whatever the case might be. He misses a couple of drives and, you know, dealing with some ankle soreness or whatever the case might be, and then they'll have him ready to go, you know, following in, you know, the next drive, or maybe a quarter later when Tyler Guyton is ready. Tyler Guyton could go out there. But if we ever need Donovan Smith or David Bakhtiari, I think we need to sign them now, get them now before other teams scoop them up, and then we're going to be that one team that has no David Bakhtiari can get the job, and then secondly, who can get it done? Who can get it done if Guyton can? I think that'd be Donovan Smith. Again, practice was good for the most part. I think the only ignorant thing that had happened was our defensive tackle Albert Huggins went out and pushed the coaching staff, the trainer for that was playing quarterback or whatever. That was really ignorant and stupid by Albert Huggins to go out and push the guy out of nowhere. Again, that was stupid. If he gets cut, I don't blame anybody. I won't even feel bad. Another thing, Trey Lance, I like that we're scrimmaging against the Rams again, is because it gives Trey Lance more opportunities to go up against another young defense, and he gets to work with their second team unit and gets to throw more passes to Ryan Flournoy and Jalen Cropper, Beverin Span, John Stevens. He gets all those second team reps, which is much needed, live reps versus other teams. So that's why he can get ready for that spotlight versus the Raiders that we play on Saturday night. So that's about it for the video. Again, Dallas Cowboys need to take the offensive tackle depth seriously. Nose tech, 3 tech needs to be taken care of in terms of getting guys signed and trading for guys. And then to help those spots, again, defensive tackle, nose tech, Lawrence Guy, Al Woods, Linval Joseph, names for that can back up Tyler Guyton will have to be either David Bakhtiari or Donovan Smith. Preferably for me, David Bakhtiari, because I feel like he's the best offensive tackle out there remaining. And that's pretty much it. That's about it for the video. Hope you guys have a nice day. Stay safe, stay blessed. Bye.